Welcome to One-on-One with Expert Flyer. I'm your host, Lisa Kaslan, and today we're catching up with an old friend, Jason Steele, who's the senior points and miles contributor for The Points Guy, an expert in award, travel, and credit cards. Good to have you back, Jason.
Great to be here.
Good. So, you know that we just did our second annual travel survey, which brought a lot of interesting trends and behavioral information about travelers this year. And you gave us some really good input, and we wanted to kind of get you on the line here to share some of it, particularly as it relates to redemption of rewards and things of that nature. And one of the questions that we had asked in the survey related to one's ability to redeem their points over the past 12 months. And 65% said, yeah, everything's great. We were able to use our points for travel. And then we also asked, okay, well, has your ability to redeem increased, decreased, or stayed the same? And what was kind of interesting was that 50% of those surveyed said that their ability actually declined. So what do you make of that?
Well, I think this is consistent with a long-term trend that, especially as the economy improves, that shows that airlines are requiring more miles for award travel than they had in the past. And that even though it's becoming more difficult to redeem points, people are still able to do so, or at least almost two-thirds of the people reported being able to do so. I certainly would be one of those people. I find it harder and harder every year to redeem my points and miles, and yet somehow I still find a way.
Right. Okay. Good. So let's talk about the value of points and these saver levels, and just to educate us a little bit, especially for folks who may not be too keen or a regular user of points. Describe what a saver level means.
Well, that's kind of shorthand. Some airlines use the term saver level. Others have other terms. But in the good old days, maybe 5, 10 years ago, airlines would publish an award chart. And it was like, you need X number of miles to get from here to there, and that's what the award would cost. They started making fewer and fewer of those awards available, and then the airlines touted it as a great benefit that now you'd be able to get more award space if you were only willing to pay double the number of miles. But instead of calling them, double priced awards, they ever the spin meisters, they said, oh, well, the original price is now the saver level. It's a bargain. That you don't have to pay double to get where you're going. So American Airlines uses saver with two A's, for American Airlines. I think United refers to it as a saver level, and Delta took the bizarre step of just removing all their award charts. So they never really know how much an award should cost or will cost until you search. But most frequent flyer people call those awards at the traditional price levels or the lowest available price level the saver award. And most frequent flyer award travel enthusiasts will tell you to hold off or hold out until you could find these saver awards and try not to redeem your hard-earned miles for double that price.
Okay, so in our survey, only about 29% of those that responded said that they were able to successfully earn or secure a ticket at a saver level price. Is that worse?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
that's not great. I mean, what you're saying is that credit cards will advertise a free flight or an award flight for 25,000 miles, domestic round trip economy, and that's kind of the traditional price for that. And people get all excited when they see that and they sign up for the credit card. Well, only 29% of the people are able to actually redeem their miles for these awards at that lowest price level that they advertise. And I think the airlines give people an impression that, hey, unless you're trying to fly Christmas or Thanksgiving week, you should be able to find awards at these saver levels. Whereas others have taken an approach like this is almost like winning the lottery to find these saver level awards.
Right.
And when I use tools like Expert Flyer or and I find these saver level awards and I call the airline to book them, they're surprised. Representatives I talk to
Really?
are surprised that somehow I was able to find awards at the lowest price level. So I think, and the survey shows that, over 2/3 of the people aren't able to, and they do have to spend what often amounts to double the minimum number of miles to use their mileage. And I think that leaves a bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, yeah. So you are really an expert on all things rewards related, both on the our airline loyalty program side and credit card side. It was interesting. We asked folks, which travel rewards program they felt was yielding the best benefit. Was it, your airline, hotel, or credit card? And okay, it wasn't a huge difference, but credit cards did beat out airline by about 3%. So we thought that was sort of interesting that the credit card companies are actually doing a better job of delivering travel rewards to consumers than the airlines and hotels.
Yeah, I think that's been true for some time, and I think the travelers, the credit card users, are finally coming around to that fact that the credit card industry, frankly, is more competitive. We have dozens of card issuers, maybe a dozen major card issuers. Each one's offering dozens of cards. The industry, unlike airlines, is consistently profitable, and customers are actually, it's not just a marketing slogan; they're actually highly valued.
Mm-hmm.
The airline industry, not so much. We're down to 3 or 4 major airlines. Often the attitude we see from the airlines is, take it or leave it. If you don't like us, fly somebody else. And
right. There is nobody else.
They might not say that in their marketing, but that's certainly how most customers feel, when there's a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how they've been treating their loyalty programs, like I said, the double miles awards, making very, very few awards available at the lowest mileage levels. Increasing the amounts of miles needed for an award. All that, we call in this business devaluation. And
yeah.
airlines don't mind doing that because they know they kind of have us.
Yeah, yeah.
The banks, on the other hand, they're really, really eager to win over our business, and I think people are waking up to that fact.
So if we look at some of the more popular credit cards, which ones in your mind do you think are the best for consumers to look at if they're interested in getting better travel perks?
Sure. Well, award travel enthusiasts like myself are really high on cards that allow you to transfer your points to airline miles with many different airlines, as opposed to having one card that's tied to one airline. I suppose if that's the only airline you fly, that might be a good idea. But cards with those flexible points might include the American Express Starwood Preferred Guest Card, which is a hotel card, but the Starwood program has 30 different airline partners.
Oh, okay.
The Chase Sapphire Preferred has about a dozen different hotel and airline partners that you can transfer your Ultimate Rewards points to. The City Thank You program is very good. Cards like the Thank You Premier and the City Prestige card allow you to transfer points to Hilton, as well as about a dozen airline programs. And then finally, I guess those four would be the major cards. American Express membership rewards would be, I guess, the fourth one.
Yeah, that one came up high on our survey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great program. And every card from the basic Amex no-fee everyday card all the way up to their platinum card offers those same membership rewards points, which are very, very valuable.
Yeah, yeah.
My favorite card of the moment is the Amex Everyday Preferred. And although it has a $95 annual fee, it gives me triple points with grocery stores, double points with gas stations, and the best part is it gives you a 50% points bonus when you use the card to make 30 transactions in a month. So instead of double and triple points, I'm making triple and 4.5 points per dollar spent on those grocery store and gas purchases.
Wow.
And even 1.5 points per dollar spent on purchases outside those bonus categories, and that adds up pretty quick.
Yeah. Sure. So, what about obviously we always ask, what's your favorite airline, the winners and the losers. And it was interesting. I know I'm focusing on number two, but American Airlines was named both the second favorite and the second least favorite. And we wondered,
Yeah.
there's a love-hate relationship here, clearly. And we
Yeah.
wondered if anything, if, their recent change, the loyalty program, they've kind of, now are following suit with the other legacy carriers, and they're going to the money spent versus miles flown model, if that might have
Sure.
had anything to do with it. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, I mean, look, their award program has been better than other programs. A lot of people feel that they've essentially been distracted from devaluing their program because they're working on their merger. Now that merger with U.S. Airways is complete, now they're free to value their program, sadly. And the person in charge of American Airlines, Doug Parker, he doesn't have the best reputation among our award travel enthusiasts for maintaining value in the program. So you're finding that American Airlines, the Saver Awards are harder to find. They increase the number of miles needed for many awards. And of course, they're decreasing the number of miles you get from flying. At the same time, they're doing a lot better than Delta when it comes to, the really sad changes they made to their SkyMiles program. American's a very large airline, so a lot of people are going to like it, and a lot of people are not going to
Right.
like it. They've
Right.
had some operational difficulties, but I like flying them.
Yeah, we like American. All right. So, any tips that you want to share before we let you go? Anything that we should know that we don't know? Anything new?
Let's see what's new. Um, I continue to tell people that they should manage their credit card portfolio much like they manage their investment portfolio. Each of these cards is going to give you a return on your spending. The points guy every month has his monthly valuation, so you can see what approximate values he gives his point. The different points, different programs, and you could multiply that by how many points per dollar you're getting for your spending. And I don't see any reason why you shouldn't actively manage your credit card portfolio the way a savvy investor would manage their investments.
Mm-hmm.
Because too often, and even sometimes at financial blotter conferences, people take out their wallet and they show me some card they've had for 20 years. Well, that's like saying, well, I've held the same stock for 20 years, but you're still holding, Sears and Kmart. I mean, it's like you have to
Yeah,
get out there and you have to, look at the new cards being offered,
you're
pick out
right.
the ones that your needs as your needs change and as the market changes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So if we want to look you up, your website, jasonsteele.com, right?
Yep. Steele with an E on the end, and that has links to my works at the Points Guy and all sorts of other outlets I write for. And I had a lot of fun keeping track of this stuff, and you can kind of follow along with me.
Good. We're going to have you back again.
Love to.
All right. Thank you so much and have a great weekend, Jason.
No problem. Take care. You too.
Bye.
Bye.